All right, hello and welcome to an afternoon run of Solo Challenge Terraforming Mars. Let's jump into it. I want to change the planet. There it is. Tharsis, baby. Let's go. We want to terraform the whole planet, get to 63 TR, and what? And get over 100 points. Of course, UNMI is an interesting potential start. It wants us to get TR every generation. That is not looking super likely. Obviously, we get a TR on the Prelude if we wanted. We could put things like Europa so we can always buy a colony, but that's not that hot. I think Aphrodite is probably the better pick here. Triton, Luna, and then you gotta pick between Energy and Europa. I usually don't enjoy the production gains that much. I find they come into play in the mid game, and I don't know. I just find that they're a bit underwhelming. Aphrodite doesn't have much for Venus bumps in this deck here. We do have some card draw and some science, so that's fine. We could do Venusian stuff, but Aphrodite, like, this is 16. Like, it's not going to matter. This is like mid to late game stuff. We have some floater for trading infrastructure. There really isn't that much. I think that this amounts to like a run or a game where we buy a colony on Luna, is what it's looking like. You buy a colony on Luna, that gives you 2 income. I could get the Titan floating launch pads, and I might, but it's probably not worth trading. You probably just get an extra floater this turn and then trade next. So that is coming with extra floaters, and then we get to a third. Because trading now would just be worth $4. It's at least 6 next turn, and then the other colonies can slowly come into play. We do have quite a bit of money income just from our Prelude choices. So economically, we're okay. I'm still going to pick heat bumps early, even though picking Venus bumps early does give us some money back. Do I have space tags? No, not really. It's kind of nothing. Big nothing burger here. Let's just take nothing and move on. For the sake of argument, let's research, see if we get something interesting. We didn't. Venus soils is like fine. We will trade though, and I will get my $6 because that allows me to play both of these pretty comfortably. Psychrophiles is fine, $2 of income per turn. Natural Preserve. We might do it for a card that keeps us in the zone. And what a hit. Earth Office. Almost certainly going to play that first next gen. I'll hold on to it just in case we get something. Something more here. Like a universal discount that I can play first. Unlikely to matter, but just saying it. A big asteroid here makes sense. Everything else is kind of meh. Jovian Lanterns. You could technically put these lanterns on my trading card. This is just such a point vanity thing. Like, I love it in a solo or in a competitive game, but in a solo, it's just not it. Subcrust is on the table. Could be pretty cheap. Getting some card draw would be nice. Everything else is kind of meh. Even grabbing the energy right now doesn't translate into that much. The plant income here is maybe interesting, but I'd rather have my microbes build up. The only question is whether or not this heat income is worth more than a card draw, and I actually think I'd rather have the card draw here. Potatoes, yes please. We'll even use a microbe, so that's a little bit more income. And floating launch pads. Again, the money isn't stacked up that high. I'm just going to get an extra floater to make sure we can keep trading as the colonies get more and more loaded up here. You know, if the Europa was in play, I said I normally don't trade with it, but we could have gone there for an energy at this point. Skydocks, incredible. A second fleet. Giant Solar Shade, incredible. I mean, this is also a discount for the record. Another plant tag would be lovely. This is just a god drafting run. We can grab another card. Again, card draw, even if you don't hit a great card, it gets you through the deck that much faster. So there's so much to love there. The big question is whether or not you play the Skydocks. like right away. I think we want to trade at the very least, and we can go to Luna, and that gives us the money. Then the question is, like, let's say I built the skydocks. Yes, I could trade for $9. And I could pick up 3 titanium, which is itself like $9. I mean, I guess I could play this smart. I could buy a colony onto Triton. Then if I buy you... I mean, I just keep 3 titanium. Right? And then for 3 titanium, I can get 4 titanium? That doesn't sound that great, but it does keep this track resetting. Then next turn I can go pick up all this energy. I guess I'll take my titanium profit. It's not much, but it could get better with other synergy cards. And then I think Big Asteroid is ready to go. Some more card draw would be nice. I don't have any energy for it. Grab these bad boys. We do need some ocean stat. It might be time to have the government help us with that. Cards with a requirement get a discount. That's lovely, though I don't have any to play. Again, we're looking at a trade here. It's 2 titanium or $6 of money. I think I'd rather grab the titanium. No, let's be real. First, we trade. Ugh. This is the big thing. I have 2 fleets, right? One sec. I have to one moment. Yeah, I didn't want to take that action, so I crashed the game so that I could do something in a different order. We have 2 fleets now. So even though it seems weird, you come over to Callisto and you buy a colony here. That allows us to do our first trade with Callisto. And then the second trade, we may as well go over here for 3 energy. And like, that just works. We can come in here and grab 2 heat bumps. Again, we're going to get a lot of titanium back. So 3 Venus bumps is coming real soon. But this extra 10 heat is going to spill over and be a heat bump. I never did the audit. I think the audit actually would have showed that we're pretty decent in all the ways, except we don't have a good Venus bumper. And we're lacking oxygen and oceans, which is 3 of the 4 metrics. So not great, but I don't feel too bad about it because our economy's in a good spot. Let's grab another floater card. That's okay. The fact that we have card draw is sick. Spin-off department is a nutty grab. Like, that is incredible timing. None of our cards have requirements, so cutting edge, not looking at you, though development center is pretty big. Let's get a big discount. We need to look. Do we have a floater? We do. This is a moment, though, where all the colonies are very depressed. So, I guess, I mean, trading with Callisto is just free. You just get the 6 energy. And then you turn around and you use it over here. Like, you just take Callisto first every time. So now I have my spin-off, which means when I play this, I will get an extra card back. Plus I get a card from this track. Plus Thermophiles is just sick. And Venus Soils could even play onto it. It has a requirement, so now I'm looking at kind of the collection of cards. I'm not going to have enough, because I also want a card draw, and I also wanted income. I have a couple cards that I don't really need, but I like that I picked up Venusian animals, right? So there's just a lot... There's a lot to like here. We could certainly get to $10. The question is, what do we care more about? An energy income every other round? Or a card draw? I actually really like the card draw, but I'm going to take the energy just because we've been so depressed on energy. Like, we're going to not even have a trade next turn unless we can find one in our draft. Like, it's a really poor position, quite frankly. Something to do with a lot of titanium. Something to lean into a lot of stuff here. We also have 4 earth tags, so you could lean into the income, but this is mostly a distraction on my end. I know people say commercial district. There's a really decent commercial district, so I think I will actually pick this up for once. Normally I look past it. Moss at 3. Snow algae's ready. Again, it sucks to have a turn where we're just not even going to get... Did I do this one? No. We're not going to get much done. But at least I can get Venusian insects in play and get an extra Venus bump by playing Venus soils. It's pretty cheap. So Thermophiles is a consistent Venus terraformer, so we like that. Large convoy, if we do find a 1-point animal, pretty reasonable. We have a lot of money from getting those Venus bumps, which is nice. Let's get another card draw. A 1-point animal, what do you know? So then we can take some plant income, we can take some more microbes, and we don't have the ability to trade this turn, which is, you know, a little poopy, but I'm sure we can make it work. We can get another ocean from the government. This time this will get us up to moss, but now we should try and find some, and there we go. So yes, yes. I love cheap colonies, but we already have a colony everywhere, and this one is not a doubler. So without the ability to double, we're going to look over or past you. Ooh, advanced alloys. Might snap grab that, not even think twice. As always, if I want to trade twice before I have a lot of energy, I need to go to Callisto first. And then I can trade with, this time, Triton. Because I have advanced alloys, I can get away with that extra value. Commercial district, I'm looking at you. What a great little pocket. Lunar Beam is going to make it so I still have 3 energy income. So now I can at least get to Callisto on my own. Moss, pretty cool. Pretty cool card. We should do this card draw. Impactor Swarm. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I want this to be a city, right? This is a 3-point city if I can protect that tile. It's not going to be easy, but it's certainly something that we're interested in. This is going to be a Venus bump next turn, which will get us this bonus TR. Would have been nice to get it now. Not being able to play Inspector Swarm hurts a bit, but really what's killing us is our lack of oxygen. So let's have the government just start slamming oxygen as like an emergency save. Venus Magnetizer does help. We do need a lot more Venus than we have, so we take that. I mean, I need more energy as well, but... Oh! Misclick. I meant to click this one and get an energy income, and then I meant to hit trade to Callisto with my 3, and it would give me 3 back, like I would net more. Instead, I have to use money to do it now, which is just sad. I guess I would have not had a card draw, so maybe I had to do it that way, but still, we're sad. Okay, this is amazing though. We finally got an energy card, so that means that the Venus Magnetizer is immediately like a goated pick. Then this Venus bump is great. Again, we're getting money back on all these Venus bumps. We are loading you up so next time I don't get screwed on not having enough energy. I mean, I'll have enough energy to begin with, but I hopefully won't get screwed on it. Do I large convoy even though I have a 1-point animal? I think I have to. Like, I'm just so far behind on plants. Like, we need so many plants. So perhaps it's just the play. It'll get us some card draw. In fact, I probably should have gone for more card draw, but I was really dialed into plants here just to make sure we keep moving. I'm going to go along the bottom. Power infrastructure might be helpful at one point. Soil Factory might be helpful. A Venus bump plus some energy earlier next turn is fine. Yeah, you know, sure. With $14, I just buy a heat bump. It's what I can afford. We know we need help in all the ways. This extra energy spilling over is quite nice. We still slam oxygen with the government. More energy, I don't know if I need it. Venus terraforming, I should be fine. Vest, I'm going to pick up because I have trades available. This first trade for titanium seems nice. We really need better card draw. We got decent card draw in the mid game, and then we hit one big energy card, which made everything feel better. But we need more. Towing a comet. There we go. That's what I mean. Like, it's feast or famine, right? Like, if you hit, you hit. And it's over 20, which means it's going to give us another card. Sure. I'm just going to play you in case I forget. I'm tempted to go here. But let's go ahead and grab the 2-card spot. We know we need cards. Look at that. They're giving us more chances for cards. Molehole gives us the last lake. Zoo really isn't anything at this point. I don't know that I need the Venus bump, so I should be able to get 2. And then maybe microbes for 1 more. Yeah, so being able to get this is nice. Do I not have an ocean in hand? I don't. So then Molehole is fine. It could also help get to a break point on those microbe cards that I've been struggling with. This is $2 extra for bumping Venus. I mean, look, I think you trade for the money, right? Or, I mean, this still this is just straight. I think you have to grab the money because it helps you get the Molehole Lake this turn. Or I guess I could global, I could reflectors, but no. We come in here, we take some cards that we know we don't need. I shouldn't need you. I definitely don't need you. I mean, I don't need you. So Molehole Lake. Did I already get my 3 plants? There's so many things I want here. Okay, I hadn't at that point, but I do now. The reason I picked down there is because I know I want to play Corona Extractor. And I figured 2 titanium worth $8 is a pretty great rebate. And then, I mean, look, a lot of these cards don't even make sense to play. Like Micro Mills, I'm not sure it'll matter. But 2 heat, you never know if you'll hit the break point, so I will. But yeah, I figured I was going to be at 7 plants if I put it here. So either 3 more plants were coming and I would have the greenery place anyway, or I already got my 3 plants, in which case I still wouldn't be able to play. So we have 1 more ocean coming. We'll have to decide if we want that to be, or what we want that to be. Thermophiles is probably what we want to be boosting. It can boost something else if we do have enough. We can make it do Venusian insects. Because I'm going to trade up an energy next turn. You know, maybe I didn't need to do it. Because if I'm going to play orbital reflectors, then I have overkill. But overkill's okay. Overkill is totally fine. So with that said, Venus is settled. Oceans are settled. We do need some help on the heat. And oxygen is close, but oxygen's expensive. So let's do that. Giant ice asteroid, again, it's 2 heat bumps, and it's over 20, so I get money back. Even if I don't get the ocean, or, yeah, even if the oceans are nothing, this is still a good card for me. Right? No, I don't have enough rebate on it. How much would I be paying to get? I'd be paying $7 for a card off the top of the deck. No, you need at least the ocean. I was thinking you get an ocean up front, so you get the placement, but I still get the placement on the free ocean as well. So it's a moot point. Yes, yes, yes. We'll take all these points and plant cards. And see what happens. Invention contest. Good to know. Don't need any more oceans. We talked about that. Of course, at the end of the game, they're just going to offer me oceans like crazy. So, a couple Venus bumps there. Bit of Psychrophiles. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, at least I had the extra heat coming in if I play a Venus card, which I probably will. Maybe we start with the Invention contest. Trade Envoys. I am about to trade. But man, Penguins is nice. But I already have Predators if I need it. Or 1-point animal, that is. So we'll take the Trade Envoys. We still have this turn and next turn. So, is this playing? No, this is just loading itself for the last turn, which is kind of a waste. I should have found another card to enhance. So 3 titanium and a bunch of stuff. I mean, if I trade here for the energy, at least it turns into heat for the last generation. So I'm going to trade one more time over here. And then let's trade once more over here. And again, that opens up this Venus, which opens up this bunch of heat, which means maybe we don't even need the heat, but I think that we do. We'll go for the card instead of the 2 plants. A bunch of things I don't care about. Venusian insects. A floater. Just doing all these clicks, they don't really matter. So Moho Lake onto a 1-point animal is something I want. I feel quite strongly about that. To do that, we need a greenery. So put it here, and that lines up for predators. I'm wondering. Oh my god. When I'm not sneezing, I'm wondering, can I get away with a city? I know I don't have that much money to play predators after, but if I play the city here and then the greenery beside it, that's $6 back. I think we can get away with it. It's over 20. I don't think that gets me a card, though. So, this is what I want. I could, infrastructure here if I think that I don't need the heat. Right now, though, this is basically 2 heat bumps coming over. So I would rather not turn that into cash. So we can sell 3 cards. If I'm not going to use power infrastructure, that's one of them. If I'm not going to need energy, peroxide power. And honestly, $15 for 1 point, get out of here. Get out. So Predators is playable this gen. Predators can attack the neutrals. And then Moho Lake can load up 1 point per turn for the last 2 turns of the game. What's not to love? 3 heat bumps ready to go, and oxygen ready to go. I think we just take 1 heat bump from the government. And that's all done. This, I don't need any of this. I mean, I like microbes, I like space discounts and energy, but it's the end of the game. And I don't have that much to synergize with left. A Red Spot Observatory, very great card. In fact, I'll probably load that up with my floater card synergy. I don't think I need this. I do have 3 titanium. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let me continue down the card draw. I was just thinking maybe I should have grabbed that Jovian card because I might not have another space card worth playing, but technically I still have a Venus bump to do. So, And look, I could just play IO mining instead. That's a 4-point card. Not too much to hate on. Let's trade with Luna. Ooh, for $10. And then we trade again, this time for 3 titanium. Again, that's worth $12 because it's enhanced. Enhance. We have the ability to standard project a Venus bump, so I'm not too worried about this one. It's just whether or not we can get those extra, the extra everything else. I'm just doing all my clicks here, wondering what I'm left with. What am I left with? I think you just use this steel here. Then if you pick up 2 plants, you can just put the last one beside the city. And that means that we certainly can IO mining. And that actually gets us a card. Dirigibles, whatever. We have to standard project this. Now, $25 is a city, right? And we have 8 plant income. So a city here is 3 points. That looks pretty good. And 3 points here, which again we get a little discount on. I mean, a point for Zeppelins, right? There's nothing else that's really going on here. We take our animal 1 point. I don't know if insects is in a weird spot, but yeah. So we have 1 extra insect, which sucks. Also, where was the microbe on decomposers? Yeah, we have 1. We're missing 1 decomposer and we're missing 1 insect. If we could switch them either way, we would have more points. But we can't. I can't play a microbe tag. I could sell a bunch of things to get a food factory, but then I'd have 1 less greenery, right? Or no, it'd actually be the same. But still, Zeppelins is 1 point. 1 point is 1 point. Let's oh no. We always achieve one of our 3 goals, and I just assumed that we had achieved one of our 3 goals, but we actually had not achieved one of our 3 goals. Oh my god, that was a full terraform. I think it's 100 points. Yeah, we had 34 points on cards. We were doing great for points on cards, but we didn't remember to get the 63 TR. I'm not sure if I was offered much bonus TR. I know in the early game I feel that I oversaw the microbe one, right? 3 microbes for 1 TR. But I thought, you know, we should be fine picking up TR along the way. And in fact, we were very close. 61 instead of 63 TR for the bonus win objective. We still terraformed the whole planet. We still got a lot of great score. But damn, what a finale. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.